Hi everyone, I'm Carrie Fennell with Prima Marketing. This video is part 2 of our paintables video segments. We have beautiful printed watercolor papers, high quality. This video is to show you exactly how to do all of these techniques in detail. Okay. We also offer these not in just 12 by 12, but we also have them in 4-ups, which are 6 by 6 panels you can cut apart. These are great for practicing smaller projects. Okay. So I'm going to start with like a walnut ink wash on the background of the papers, and I have cut the smaller 4-ups, and I have one done, but I will show you exactly how to color wash this with a sponge brush and a solution I made out of walnut crystals, and I just am lightly applying the solution to the entire thing, lightly. You don't need to dig your brush down into it, it's just so easy, and look how quick that is done. Okay, so with this one over here, I'll show you, it's dried, it lays flat, nice and beautiful. But we also have a technique that we like to do, which is coloring our backgrounds with colored ink. So we take our water brush, we apply a little bit of color, and we swoosh it right in there. Okay, now these colors will vary. You will have darker areas and lighter areas within, but it's really easy to use and kind of wash away, and you know, just keep adding a little bit of water, just keep working it, and this is done very quickly. And you can add pinks, so you can take any darker color and make them into like really nice light colors just to wash in an entire background. Okay, and see how easy that is. And I like the color variations in my background. I think it adds a little bit of watercolor to it, a little bit of dimension, and I really like the way that it shows up. Okay. So we are going to go back to our panel of the walnut ink that we've washed. It's nice and dry. And I'm going to go ahead and grab that red ink and show you how well it shows up on the walnutted panel. And see, the more I color, the lighter the color gets, and that's okay. I can go back and keep adding the color to it, just like that. Okay, see how that shows up really beautifully over the brown. And I like to mix different reds, like the red family. I like to mix in a little bit of different shades and just kind of work it in there and get little different dimension. You can always go into the pink family too with the reds, because I think that they all kind of complement each other. And you can go along these little designs and make them all different as they go around. You can let them dry and then go back later, and if you decide to add another color later, you can do that. It's really workable, very easy to do. And see how beautiful it shows up there. Okay. Now you can also take something like an opaque marker. I have some here by Sakura, and here's a blue one just to show you, but you can color in little images that are on the papers, some of the little designs that they've pre-printed for you. And look how nicely they show up. And you can even do like the center of a design. And they're kind of cool because they're a little glimmery, really nice. And then another cool thing I love to do is add some glimmer mist over the entire background of a layout. You have to shake these up really well because all the pigment just falls to the bottom of the bottle. But say it's all done and colored in, you can just add a whole new dimension by spraying in some gold or some even darker walnut if you want, and then this just adds a whole new layer, a whole new sheen to your entire project. And then you can allow that to dry. These papers do pop up as they're wet, but then they will flatten out as they dry. It's really kind of neat. I don't know how they managed to do that, but they do, and I love that. Okay, so now we're going to go back to our white background. Let's see here. Here's one that has a lot of detail, and I want to let you know that this is nothing to be concerned about because you think, oh my gosh, how am I going to color all that in? It really goes very quickly, okay? And you can just start by picking one thing like flowers, for instance. Say, okay, I'm going to go through this whole 12 by 12 background, and I'm going to color in just the flowers. And this really helps it to kind of move along, and you can play as you go. And here I'm adding, of course, the color on top of color within that red family. I'm not even cleaning my brush off in between. How bad is that? Look, I just added a bunch of water so that I can drag the color to all the other flowers really quickly. And see how quick I just did that? Okay, and then I get light little hues and I go back in and darken it up a little bit. Okay, just like that. like I said, once it dries, you can go back and just keep adding until you love the result. Okay, now I am going to clean off my brush. All right, and I am going to grab some twinkling H2Os. These are wonderful pigment powders that are they're solid. You add a little bit of water to them and they come to life. And these you can add into like the flower centers, just like that. It just adds a little bit of cool dimension. I love these because they really, you can play with these again too. Now say that dries, you can go back and maybe take your Prima Paper pens and add little dots of gold in the middle. Okay, so again, this will take you no time at all to do. You can just play around, keep swishing the colors together, and actually you end up having a lot of fun just playing around with the different dimensions. Here is the same layout that I just did, except I color washed the background in a green. I went through and I colored in all the images with the colors that I chose, like some of the green for the swirls, and I picked some turquoises for the flowers. But this really took me no time at all. It's perfect. And I covered up a lot of it with my photos. And here's another example of a layout I did with the antique washing in the background. And then I went over all the designs with the dye inks and added some twinkling H2Os on these as well. So you can see the results are just so amazing once you get done and you play with these and you really, you know, just play around with the color families and get it all done. So I would love to see any of your beautiful creations using the paintables on PrimaMarketingInc.com. Thank you so much for your time today. See you soon.